What's going on? Another week, another geek. We're back at it with another episode of the Why I'm Geek Show with your homies AJ and ChrisyLite. And today, it's episode 183, and we're going to be talking The Last of Us Season 2 season finale. And I think one or two more extra episodes. I don't remember. I forgot which episode we left off last time we talked about it, but we're back. Chris, how you feeling today? Brody.
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. All week I've been focused. Focused on the patch.
He's locked in.
I've been locked in on tactics on how they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
The odds of them winning, and
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous as the days get closer. But I'm churning through all these YouTube videos and predictions, man. Just turning through them. But I'm doing good today. G, how you been?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just been, just getting things in order. I'll say that. Getting the workflow settled as far as like adding more clips to the pod that y'all gonna start seeing this upcoming week. I don't remember if we made the announcement last week or I just said it, whatever. But we are releasing the podcast on Thursdays now. So just be aware of that and be aware of all the other extra stuff we got coming out. So appreciate y'all as always. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this thing, bro. It's not over.
Season 3.
Season 3. Did you see it coming, bro?
No.
Okay.
No, I thought this was gonna be a 2-season show.
Yeah.
We have part 1 of the game, part 2 of the game, so
That's what I was thinking.
I just, maybe I'm being too dumb with how people make money, and HBO getting that bread. But yeah, I thought they would wrap everything up. I know me and you both have not played the game,
Yeah.
so we weren't really sure how the pacing was going. So maybe with someone who has, completed the game, it made more sense. Like, oh yeah, this ain't even close to that. But I did not see it coming. Did you?
I had a feeling just because it ended on 7 episodes. First season was 10. And like, even though I have not played the game, I was more so like confused at, why we weren't changing POV a lot if this is going to be the last season. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was sitting here asking, where's Abby? For like, I don't know how many episodes. I was like, I knew there was going to be a certain point where it's like, okay, now we're going to get her POV, and they just confirmed it with the finale of this episode of this season. But it left a bad, impression on me. Like, I don't feel fulfilled with this being the finale. Not because what we saw was bad or it wasn't hype or anything, but it just felt just not done. And I hate when I don't want to say like specific studios or franchises do this, but like I don't like when you got a full season to do something and you choose to stop it right in the middle. Like, I feel like.
But do you feel like they're in the middle?
I mean, they're restarting. So.
Yeah.
We're back
so
to
like
day
season 3 is
one.
gonna pick off from Abby's perspective. So
yeah. But
it kind of just seems like they're just doing her time, same amount of time of episodes, and then we're just gonna meet back up to that very last episode anyway.
Right. But when I'm saying middle, I mean more so like middle of like the conflict. Like, you have like this like build up to this like snap, and we don't get the victory like not speech, but like victory lap of Thanos walking through the fields, the wheat fields, and it's like, oh, I did it, you know? Like we don't get that moment. And I think it's because I'm comparing it to like how active the game was with switching POVs. Like it was more so like probably more than Grand Theft Auto, but like you would do, from what I remember, you would do a certain amount of missions and then it would switch from Ellie's POV to Abby's POV, and it was like a you know, consistent storyline versus like now we have to restart and do it all over again. And now I'm just like, oh man, I wish we could have just like not saved this, but you know, done it that way versus it just being a season of like, because now I just know I don't know what to expect from her side, but I know where we're going versus it being like the ultimate surprise. It's kind of what I'm getting at. You get where I'm coming from? Or am I bugging?
Sorta.
Like, is it picky? Like, is it like,
I
don't
think my
know.
question would just be more of like, do you like the idea of watching another season of it being the same story but a different perspective? You know, like do you like that idea of a show doing it?
Um,
Uh-oh, we got him. We got him, y'all.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for me it's like I just don't like the rollout that like these shows are all just turning into miniseries. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't feel worth it to like watch it every week, but it's like if it's gonna go from, you know, 10 episodes to 7, what's you know, season 3 gonna be 5? Like I just feel like if you're gonna do it, like just do it. You know, like I get the whole, you know, the longer you draw out a series, the more subscription money you get from people that's watching that certain thing. But it's like if it's a story decision, I get it. Like, but if it's more so like, you know what, like, cause the way I see it, based on like when I'm doing my YouTube videos and my shorts and stuff like that, like I try my best not to leave off on like a crazy cliffhanger that is like I want you to get the payoff in the same episode. So like when I'm chopping something from 15 minutes to, you know, 30 to a minute, you know, 30 seconds to a minute, I want to get the best nugget I can out of that time. And I feel like because it ended in 7, it was forced to end in 7 because of where the plot ends. Versus like if we just went to 12 or 14 or something like that, then we could have got the whole thing then and there.
Yeah.
And it'd be
I just want to understand. You're just saying like you would just prefer, you know, season 2 to just have both the perspectives, and you just have an Ellie episode, and then you have also an Abby episode, and just keep it going until it's the end.
Right. Because it's like
you don't like the idea of 2 different seasons with 2 different characters.
Yeah, because like what if I'm a fan of Abby and I'm watching this season, I'm like, dang, where's Abby? Where's Abby? Characters in the show saying, where's Abby? And we just keep talking about this mythical person, you know? And then boom, she show up at the end and it's like, all right, oh well, season's over, guys. Y'all gotta wait a year, maybe 2, to get this next bit. You know? When it's like especially when there's already like the story's already done. The game is already out. So it's like I had plans on playing the game after, you know,
I looked up how much it costs right now. I
you
looked it
know?
up. That thing's still $60 or the
Yeah.
remaster was 70. I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait for Black Friday or something.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not saying that, it makes it trash because of the way that they did it. I understand the concept of like, all right, we finna focus on Ellie, now we finna focus on Abby. Like, I get that. I'm not saying it's gonna be the exact same plot line because it's a completely different person. But as far as like, if the content loop that I would have enjoyed better is if we would have actively got more Abby in the midst of us seeing Ellie go crazy and knock people off here and there. And
But would you have liked it if they cut it short? Because you did mention that you don't like it being like stopping halfway through. They probably would have stopped halfway through.
yeah, but it would have been a better like piece to stop at. If it stopped at the first girl, what's her name? If it stopped at like was it Nora? It
Mm-hmm.
was Nora. If it stopped at Nora and we didn't get those last 2 episodes, but we got everything from day one, like how we got in from Ellie's side, because they made it a point to say like, all right, this is day one, y'all.
Yeah.
Like for Ellie and now for what you call. I would have liked that better. Because then it was like, all right, everything came to this point. She tasted blood, and now it's like now we get to see what's going to happen next. It's like obviously, even if they want to start with the flashback with Joel and Ellie, but at least like coming out of that, I would have been able to see like, all right, like how are they reacting? Because it's like it seemed like they were doing that, but it was doing that for everybody except Abby. Like Abby wasn't an active part of the show,
Yeah.
and I wish it were so. That's
Okay.
kind of my point. Took a long ways to get there, but that's kind of like what I was feeling throughout the thing. Not to say that like what we got was trash, but it was like, dang, I just kept wondering, like, all right, all these things are happening, but I don't know how it's affecting this other major character that did something unforgettable,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just off by herself, get to live her best life. We don't get to see none of it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I really like that aspect of it, especially the finale. I'm not a big fan of the finale episode.
mm,
Um, I think they wasted a lot of time and had some scenes that were
questionable.
very questionable. Like no need to even put in there, and we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about those later. But overall, I like the idea of that. Of Abby does this unspeakable horror that just looms over the entire season, entire
Mm-hmm.
series, technically,
From episode 2.
and we get an amazing episode 6, and then episode 7, it's kind of like, okay, we're definitely gonna see her. We're definitely gonna see her. And just for it to be like she pop up,
Mm-hmm.
wreak havoc, and then
Again,
it's like,
and she gone.
yeah, and then it's like, guess what? Season 3. Like,
Yeah.
I really, really like that idea because, like you said, the whole season we're just dedicated to finding this person, finding what they're doing, finding like what they've been doing since they murdered Joel. And it just felt so odd, like we haven't seen her at all. And then we didn't find her. She's not here. Like, wait, what's happening? So I really like that idea of the mystery. Um I don't think I would have liked it if they stopped halfway through because I already had the feeling episode 2 of this series was really, really amazing. That felt like good enough to be a final episode of any show.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the other episodes I felt like were slow, draggy, and I was like, ugh, I don't know. And if they would have left in the middle,
But
I,
Chris, that's with characters we don't even. That's with characters we know. When we could pull up with
yeah,
Abby, it's gonna be all new people that we have no care in the world for.
yeah. So
You know what I'm
all
saying?
I'm saying is
So
like the point of Abby like being missing throughout the story, I found kind of interesting. And for them to go with season 3 of it being like her perspective, we get to see like what was she doing this whole time, you know? Because there was a lot of stuff happening in like especially episode 7 that's behind the scenes of what they're fighting, who they're fighting, what's going on. You know, that whole assault on the village with the explosions and stuff. Like we're gonna learn all about that. And maybe I would have liked it with both of them, like like what you're saying, back to back. But knowing those slow episodes, I I'm kind of like, ugh, that'd have been a tough landing point for me. I'd have been like, ugh. Season 3, clearly they saved all the good parts for, you know, like what I really want to see. And for episode 7, that last little bit to like really show the parallels between Abby and Ellie. Um, I thought it was really good, and just that little bit of taste of, yo, what happened? And it's like, yo, you're not gonna find out what happened. You're gonna get her perspective the whole time, what she's been doing, and then we'll get the conclusion on like what happens afterwards. Like, I kind of like that feeling, but the episode, I was like, they did a little draggy thing again that I'm not feeling, and I kind of feel like if they would have done the Ellie Abby episode, they would have done a lot more dragging, and they would have stopped that episode that I would have been pretty bummed out about.
Okay, so what I'd say to that is that personally, I find value in some of the drag. Like, I feel like some of these conversations are necessary. Maybe not back to back like that, but, you know, the clearing the air between, you know, Ellie and Jesse, clearing the air between Dina and Ellie are like necessary story beats that will like make Abby's entrance that much like more meaningful. And even like Joel's whole episode where we get to see some of his backstory from when he was a kid build up to like finding out like, okay, this is how Ellie found out the truth, even though she knew the truth, but like,
Yeah.
that episode was like, oh man, this is good, you know?
Yeah, but
But
that
it
was
didn't.
episode 6.
I get it. I get what you're saying. But it's like, what if season 3 is just a whole bunch of that? Because like
No,
technically,
so all I'm saying is like the episode 6 and 7, the parts I like, those would have been in the hypothetical season 3. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel
yes.
like if we split it in half, a lot of episodes that I didn't rock with, they would just have more of it. And I would have kind of felt like season 2's a lot more flat. Like, am I really hyped for a season 3? Not really, but like at least now I kind of feel like, oh, that character that we've been saying the whole season, like, yo, where's she at? Like, Ellie gonna get her. Ellie gonna get her. Like, where's she at? Oh, she not here. She not here. And then she pops up like that in the last episode. At least it gave me that feeling of, okay, I'm trying to find out.
So, because this is a question. This is a question too. That, you know, if you know how the game ends, then you probably already have the answer to. But,
Yeah.
you know, because this is a series and it's not like the game, how it's like Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 or whatever like that. Like, it's just The Last of Us. What if there's a season 4 or a season 5? You know what I'm saying? What if the end of season 2 or the end of season 3, because we know like what it's leading to, was really like just the beginning of something even bigger that, like, you know, hasn't been made into a game yet. Then it's like, okay, if we do it the way I'm saying it, you have that big launching point of, you know, Abby's return with the context of who Abby is by itself, and it's like
Yeah.
a gradual progression to a big bang versus like
Yeah.
what we're going to do. Obviously, we don't know exactly how it's going to go, but like what we're going to do in season 3, which is see from day 1 to current of
Yeah.
what Abby was doing on the, during that time. And to me, my biggest fear is that it's just a um not a retelling, but like just an origin story of like, you know, who was who was Abby's father and who was, Abby as a kid and stuff like that. And it's like all that just for us to get like, you know, maybe it's episode 5 this time, episode 5 through 7. And then now it's like, okay, boom, we're back to
Yeah.
what's it
Yeah.
called? And then it's like, dang, we just wasted 5 episodes to get here. When they already spent this time building this character up. You know what I'm saying? Like think about like uh in Naruto when Madara came on the scene. But when we saw Madara for the first time, right?
Yeah.
We spent 500, 800, however many episodes building this figure up. But when he came back, it was straight to the action of like, I want to see what he can do. And it was just like, from there on, it was just like, we punching you every single time, like banger
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
banger
Yeah.
after banger after banger, you know? So like, to me, going into season 3, all I'm doing is just waiting. Versus it being like still like an active story, like, oh, I can't wait to see how we, what's going to happen, how are they going to react to, this person getting by or that person getting by. Like, I already know now. Like, they took all the mystery out of it at this point. Like, I get the concept of like of what you're saying as far as like how they built up Abby to be this mystical character that popped up, and it's like, boom, now you got something excited to be for season 3. I get that. If it was something that has never been made before, I'm cool with that because it's like a story that hasn't been told. But because we have a version of it that was already told, that was more like, all right, it's Ellie's turn. All right, now get to a certain point. Now it's,
Yeah.
what's their turn? And then we just keep going back and forth until like, boom
Yeah.
chakalaka.
Yeah. That's why from the beginning, it was kind of like you're saying that you would like it just the normal video game form they did.
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying is the way the story was already dragging, I personally would probably not have liked that version because we would have gotten nowhere in my opinion. You know what I mean? The way it was rolling, those middle episodes, was not really
Yeah,
that
but like,
invested. Like it's dragging. And then if you add Abby's side of now I have to learn about her character, now I have to learn about her situation with her dad. Now we might go back to even more of the Firefly stuff. It's kind of like they're gonna end at an episode 7 that I'm kind of like, we ain't getting nowhere. Like like Joel done died episode 4, 5, you know what I mean? And then now we got nowhere. They just started their journey and they said Dina's pregnant and then we end it. You know, like that's like the realm they probably would have stopped on, and I would have been like, all right,
I
well,
think that's still too early though, Chris. I think it would end with Ellie getting the first person out the crew.
that was episode 5 though. So how many Abby episodes would you have added into season 2? You're only saying add 2?
I'm saying like it would have been like I'm saying like those portions that dragged that like, because I don't know, you gotta speak a little bit more specific about like what portions drag for you, but like the
Yeah, episode 3, 4, 5.
I'm talking about like what happened though in those episodes. I'm speaking to like
So the episode right after Joel dies,
yeah,
it's a really, really long morning episode.
yeah,
Like of them packing up, gearing up,
mm-hmm.
get going on out. And then they have like the whole Dina episode of her and Dina pretty much shacking up.
Yeah. So
And then
like
the 5th episode is when they finally get to Nora. But I said that even that episode, there was a lot of like near misses with her and
his plot armor.
what's his name? Yeah, a lot of plot armor stuff that I'm kind of like, you're just doing this to like tease, like, oh, they're actually in danger, but then they're not.
Right.
And it's like, oh, just kidding. We're actually in real danger. These are the smart clickers, and then they're not. So
Right.
all I'm saying is, if you add in Abby episodes, they're, in my opinion, they're gonna add the episodes where we learn the backstory of day one with Abby. Then we learn some information on her father, or what the wolves are doing and stuff like that. How life in Seattle's going, or her hating Joel and finding out about Joel killing everyone.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's
we
why
got
I'm saying,
we
like,
saw that in this season. That's what I'm getting at. Like, so like they showed us Abby in these certain scenarios and like her having nightmares and like certain situations, but it was nothing that she was actively doing after.
Yeah, but
Joel.
I'm saying we would get more slow burn of that from Abby's side, right?
My thing is like possibly no. So like where you see the drag, like town hall meeting, or like, you know, this conversation with this person, that conversation with that person, like, it might not drag because we're actively going to someplace else. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like,
so all
really
I'm
we would
saying
have
is,
to start at day one to make it work. Like day one, like when they do day one for Abby and Dina, when we get like to see like the flashback. But like if they do it the way I'm saying it, a lot of stuff gets cut out that we don't necessarily need, is what I'm saying. And it'll be more of an active old story up until that point. Like,
yeah,
all those conversations.
I hear, but what I'm hearing is you like them just to split up part 2 of the game and stop at the halfway point, right?
I don't know what the halfway point is, but like,
yeah, but that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying like, if
you're making
like right now it feels like a halfway point, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So pretty much what they did is they played through the game without giving you half of the story that they already had of the other character. Yeah. And now you're going to play through the next part of the game with the other side. But what you're saying is you would have preferred just play through the game and then stop halfway. You go through both sides just like the normal game did.
I would have to know how it ends to say that. Personally.
Okay.
Like, I would have to know like what's exactly halfway. You know, like in my brain right now, like halfway is Nora. When she hit him with that lead pipe and we fade to black.
How you get that's halfway. That's episode 5 of what we saw. If
Of
they're going to do a
7.
whole nother of 7. So if they're going to do a whole nother season, that's why I'm kind of like, some of those episodes dragged 5, 6, and 7. Those would probably be in season 3. So that's why I'm just saying, hypothetically, I probably wouldn't have liked season 2 if it did stopped halfway through the game. That's all.
So, but if we combine them, I didn't think this was where we was gonna go. But if we was to combine,
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, if we was to combine them, then I think it would, like, say we still got another 10.
Another 10.
It was 10 episodes instead of 7.
Oh yeah. If they added 3 more episodes.
If they added 3 more episodes of Abby that led up to this point, then it's like, boom, now we're in the end game of like.
Yeah, but they would probably not do a season 3, right? Would you think?
I mean, if this is the end of the game, this is the end of the game. And like,
if they added 3 more episodes, do you think they would do a season 3? Because to me, the reason why they did 7 is because they wanted to do another set of 7, and they felt like they couldn't get the whole game in 10. You know what I mean? They felt like it's a little too much, but it's not enough for so many. So how can we like get another season in?
Yeah, that's my problem with it. Is like, it feels like that.
Yeah.
It feels like they got cut short of what they could have done. But it's like, we're going to sell it as, all right, this is Ellie's season. Now you get, I keep forgetting her name because we ain't seen her. Abby. We ain't seen Abby. So, like, it's a personal preference thing, but it's like something that like I've seen in other like it just feels like these series are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not getting any benefit from it. Like I don't see the benefit of having another season where it's just like, all right, day one, guys, day
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
because we're going to
But
we
are you
already know where
you
we're
trying
going.
to say that you would have just rather them take out the bloat of season 2, put better episodes with Abby in it,
Hmm.
and then just leave it a season 1, season 2 type show?
Give me 12.
Did they do 12 last time?
No, they did 10.
This man said, "I want more.
I'm just
I want
saying.
more for less."
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No,
I feel
what I
it.
feel like we're getting is more with less. If it would have just been 2 seasons like the game,
Yeah, yeah,
then we could have got the same thing. But I think because of like how TV is working now or streaming is working
yeah,
now,
yeah.
they're
Many
splitting it
years of
up.
waiting,
We're
many
splitting it up,
years.
and it's like
Worst product.
if they do a great job and it's amazing, perfect. That's fine. But it's just like becoming a thing that I keep noticing that it's
Yeah,
like we're going to, you know, uh, we're going to shoot for longevity versus like quality. We want this show to
sure,
last as long as we can versus like making what the best quote unquote product could be,
sure.
you know? Because it's like, and I guess like it depends on like what you constitute as drag, but like, even though I enjoy like a lot of the season, like it didn't feel like we were still getting anywhere to this point. You know?
Exactly, bro. I'm like, me personally. I don't know if I would have like. I probably would have 100% like blazed this show if we saw the beginning origins of Abby after she murdered Joel. I would have been like, bro, I do not care. Like, wait a minute.
But we don't even
Like,
know. So that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
we'll find
Like,
out. But I'm just saying, like, season 3, if you start the season and I learn
right.
about Abby, at least I'm getting back into like the show.
It's like,
There is
yeah,
some okay. We're back in this space.
right.
I
I get
I
the I
don't think
get
they
the
would have.
I was gonna say I
Good.
get the structure aspect of it. Like it makes sense on paper. But
Yeah,
in
yeah,
but in action it feels like I'm getting cheated out of, you know, what could have been essentially. Like if you're gonna do something, just do it. You know?
yeah, yeah.
So like I don't know. And
Like if they could have made 3 Abby episodes to add to the season, I think everyone would agree that would have been better. But
yeah,
I think they knew it wasn't enough, and I
right.
think they also had that whole green light of we can just do another season. Like,
Hmm.
and
Like
then
it,
they came to the conclusion, what's better? Which route of season 2, season 3 should we do? Because
right.
they announced it before the episode even dropped.
Hmm. Because I think people would have been like, "What are we doing? Like, why would they end it like this?" You know? Because like even when you told me that it was going to end this
Yeah.
week, I was like, "What?" I was like,
Because I saw something
Why
and
would
then
they
I was
end it
getting
like
my
that?"
days confused because
Yeah,
I think I said like, yeah, it comes out Tuesday or something like that. And
yeah,
you're like, huh?
like yeah.
I was
So
like, oh, I know I saw something that said the last episode, and I was like,
right,
7.
right.
That didn't even click right in my brain because I was like, oh, it's gonna be
Hmm.
later because it hasn't even been like a week or 2 since we saw, so I didn't think they'd wrap up so quickly.
Right. Like to me, it parallels so well with like how the direction of like the NBA, right? Playoff is going on right now. And we have teams losing games they should not be losing based on how many points they're up by and how much time is left. But because of, the analytic warriors, that is that fill NBA coaching staffs, like the shot selection has gone crazy. Where it's like if you're not shooting a three or getting a dunk, you're wrong. if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not
And
the
you're
superstar of the
saying if you're
team.
not expanding this to a third season, you're doing it wrong. Like
Right. Like
just expand it.
I feel like, you know how we said like there's a Marvel formula to this thing? Like there's streaming rules now probably. Where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
I agree.
if you have this many if you have more than 8 episodes, you're wrong. If you have, you know,
Yeah.
like if you are making a show that has a, you know, historic franchise and you change a little bit of something to innovate to make it more sense, you're wrong. Like you get
Yeah.
punished for making something
Y-
quote unquote better
Yeah,
than
you
like
feel us as the viewers are getting punished because it's just like that quality is definitely being diminished
mm-hmm.
for the sake of streaming numbers or extra season.
Yeah, because like that's part of why I want to play the games because I want to know now
Me too,
like
bro.
if it like how the story's actually supposed to go and what
Yeah,
liberties
yeah.
they really take to make this thing into what it is. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do against the actors and actresses. It has nothing to do with the people that's, you know, making the movie. Because it's like if you give me a certain set of problems, I'm gonna do what I have to do to solve it. And it seems like
Yeah, yeah.
this is their
Putting yourself in like
solution.
the director's shoes.
Yeah, like this is their solution. I get the solution makes sense. It's just like to me, it's not what I would have preferred.
Yeah,
And
because it's
that's
just
all I
like I'm
can give it up
wondering
to.
for a question to you. Like Game of Thrones is a perfect example how it jumps from POV to POV. Like, would
Mm-hmm.
you have hated a season long where we only like stayed in like Westeros,
Mm-hmm.
and then we like didn't get what's going on over in what is it called? Dorne? I think that was the
Oh
other.
yeah, yeah. That was across the water, right?
Yeah, pre
Mm-hmm.
like
Before Daenerys came
Khaleesi.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, getting the armies and flying over to Westeros
Mm-hmm.
before like the quote unquote final season. Like, would you have hated the idea that what's they're
I
kind of
would.
like building up. Khaleesi's coming, blah blah blah. We're hearing
Yeah.
stuff in Dorne, but we're not actually physically seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all we know is next season we're jumping back a few months, and then we're gonna see all of what Khaleesi's been doing that we
Yeah.
were hearing murmurs of. Like, would you have hated that?
I think so
Mm.
because like even with Game of Thrones, because we're switching POVs so actively, like yes, some people get left out in the season, but context matters. And I feel like in this
Sure.
joint, context doesn't matter because it's so linear. Like they made it a point to be like, all right, day one, y'all, season end. All right, day one, y'all. Yep. Get ready. Abby's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, bro, like, I don't want to have to keep doing this all over again, get reintroduced to people that might not matter all over again. I just want the story and I want to know like
Yeah, you like it
obviously,
more linear.
yes. Yeah. I like it more linear timeline wise. I don't
Mm.
like keep going back. I'm not mad at flashbacks, but I'm saying like active storyline, I want that joint to keep progressing versus like having to keep retracting. Like at first, when I was like on my One Piece journey and I was watching and watching and watching, and then they would do like the special program episodes or whatever, and it would just be like a recap of everything you had seen up until this point in the middle of a big fight. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like I was get so mad. I'm like, bruh, like I can't even imagine this. But in context, it's because you got people still drawing it and making the show. But to
Mm.
me, watching it, I'm just like, where's it at? Like, why do I have to keep like why do y'all keep doing this? And it wasn't until I got to Wano where I'm like, oh, these fights is crazy because I'm at where everybody's hype at. Like, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm back in the stage of not knowing what the hype about The Last of Us 2 is. And it's like, nope, I'm sorry. We got to go back first. You know? Like, we have to.
Yeah, I think my only like, even though we're on a tangent on this one, I think
Yeah.
my main thing is I feel like you would have had that feeling if we would have went back and forth with both. Because I feel like what we saw with just getting
I don't think it would have been
Joel
possible.
dying and what we saw with Abby going away, because we know she's not active in the story currently shown.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the big like boom that would have
Right.
been a great finale? And I feel like they would have ended it at a spot that is not really finale, but is more like, hey, pause audience. We did a lot of story building this season. All the good stuff is really to come for season 3, but we did many pauses on this. I just would have felt like, bruh, 3 years. I'm not checking for this. Like, like
Look,
call me when you ready, because
this is the thing though. This is the thing though. Let me challenge you real quick. If that was the case, in my brain, it would have been like, because we have all those times, not all those time skips, but a couple time skips in this season. During those time skips, it wouldn't be 3 months from now. It would have been, all right, Abby's heroic return to the Wolves. And like, because it's like they hold her in high regard too. It's like, all right, now you done did what you had to do. Now it's time to lock in on why you about to become the next leader. And we get to see why that happens. What's the name's journey to Seattle? All right, troops getting ready for whatever conflict they got going on. We get introduced to the scars and stuff like that. So it's like,
but that's they just be building up all that stuff. We wouldn't get any of that conclusion until season 3. That's why I kind of am just not feeling it. It's kind of like, would I rather?
It depends on what the conclusion is, in my opinion.
Yes, but regardless, we would have got the conclusion in season 3 if they would have done the back and forth.
To me, I don't. Wait. If we got the back and forth, we would have got the conclusion.
The conclusion episodes for all the storylines you just laid out would have been in a season 3, episode 1 through 7. Like, they would have wrapped up all of those then, not in season 2 if they went back and forth. Like, that would have been more story building, like season. Do you know what I mean?
No,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the conclusion would be in season 2 if they went back and forth. Like, what would be wrapped up?
What would the final episode be, or like what would be the takeaway?
Yeah, both.
So like, to me, in my brain, from what we have seen already, it would have been a situation of it's either ends with the lead pipe thing, or it's a situation where it's like Ellie looks like it's over for her, and then it's like, boom, Jesse saves the day. Like, those are like the only 2 moments that we've seen so far that were like season ender worthy. But like
I can feel my disappointment already, bro. Like, I'd have been like, yo, this probably would have been like, yo, this show, we did nothing all season. Like, that's how I would have felt.
So catching the first body, which we found out she didn't even do. He left her.
She didn't do. Yeah.
Isn't enough of like, you don't know that she didn't do it. Isn't enough for you to be like, we didn't get nothing done.
Yeah. That's how I would feel.
So
that's kind of like just what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah, I get that, but I'm saying, like,
I just feel like it's too much story building for a single season, and then that lead pipe moment, it's not even a character that we're really trying to get after. Like, it's cool.
It's a tone setter, though. It's a tone setter of,
yeah, it don't get me going. It don't get me hype, bro. It's not provocative enough, Like, at least this one, we know she done shot Jesse. Bam. Like, yeah. I got Joel's brother right here. He about to go, and it's like, yo, I saved you. I told you I'm gonna let you live, and you done threw your life away.
Though.
Boom.
That's still delusion, though. But it's like,
that's what I'm saying. That gets my blood going, though. That's all.
I get what you're saying. That also gets solved if there's more than 7 episodes in the season. If we drag it out. But what I'm saying is, Well, what I'm saying is like, if I was to know how much more is left in the game,
Yeah,
then I could be a better judge of like, once we reach this climax, how big is the fall off from
for
that
sure, for
moment?
sure.
Because I
Yeah,
can see a world where I don't know what happens. It's just a crazy scenario where it's like in some alternate universe now Abby and Ellie have to work together to you know beat Isaac or whatever, or like
yeah.
you know but that wouldn't even happen in that season. It would happen in another season. It would be in a season 4 because we have to spend a whole nother season doing what we already seen before. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, the game would be really long if there's a fourth season. There could be,
So
but
that,
I don't know about that what you just proposed because we already seen like all of Ellie's. Uh, I don't know if it's all of Ellie's story, but like a large portion of Ellie's story. If we're
right.
getting another season that's focused on Abby,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking the way you're thinking. It's just
Like how much
the same,
timeline has
yeah, the same timeline, just
yeah,
7 episodes of more Abby focus to
right. But what if
ultimately
it's
meet up to a last episode.
but it
When
cannot
the,
it can't be 7 though. It would have to be like 4.
why? Why do you
4 or
think that?
5. Because there has to be something after this. Like so let's just what do you think happened? What do you think who got shot in the last scene? I just want to know what your opinion is. Who got shot?
Oh, Abby got shot. That's
Okay, who
easy.
should get shot by?
Dina.
Okay. So now we're on the same page. So now that she got shot or shot at or we don't know if she hit or what,
Yeah,
right? Where does the what has all of this Scar and Wolf stuff been built up for?
we're gonna find out in season 3.
Right. So how many episodes would that actually be though?
I'm guessing 8, like 8 to 7.
No, I'm saying like of like after that climax point, how many more episodes are left in season
Oh,
3?
I would think one more episode. I would think we
See,
get that conclusion of it on episode 6, and then we get a 7th episode.
I would hate that because I don't care. Not to say I don't care about Abby, but it's like you built me up to this crazy moment just for it to end now when it could have ended in a more hype, not more hype, but like a hype enough moment to have me like, okay, like, yo, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
I
like
don't.
like it depends on what's in it really depends on what's in Abby's story. Like that could have served as that moment. But like to me, as of what we know right now, it was just the lead pipe moment and or the moment she got saved by Jesse that we could have used as like a end off point or whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's why I
like,
don't. That's why I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like the idea of them going back and forth. But like you, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if
yeah.
Abby has like a better like quote
Hmm.
unquote like halfway point that you
Right.
play through all night and you get that uh mission with Abby and you're like, yo, that was amazing. I got to go to sleep because now we're gonna start the next act. It's gonna build up again. The character survived this crazy encounter. But I would just assume that because in this season specifically, we had all those other factions having this looming scuffle throughout, that we follow Ellie throughout. So she's like subverting all of that, not worried about that. She's focused on one thing, and it's killing Abby. Like in the next season, we're just gonna get more of what's actually going on, why the explosion went off. Is it justified? Is it not? Like, is it crazy? Do the people have to be stopped? And then probably we get Abby getting murdered, and Abby revealing like, "Yo, we got to stop the wolf. Like they just murdered all these people. You got to do it." And they just do like one more episode, and it wraps up the story. But um overall, I just feel like the way they told it, it just was the slowness of it. I wouldn't have liked season 2 of them just slowly building up these characters. Because I kind of feel like at least they got the Joel death out the way. We got to see the lengths and the, I don't know, hatred that the cycle built with Ellie, and then we get the ultimate like fade to black of who got shot, what happened, who lives, who dies, and it's like you're not even gonna get to find out the next episode. You're getting to find out after a whole season, and we get to finally get the question answered of, yo, what was Abby doing? Where
Who
was
shot
Abby
you?
at?
But we
Yeah.
already know.
What do you mean we already know?
We already know who shot her.
What do you mean?
We already know who shot her. She didn't get that shot off. We don't even know if she got hit, first off. But like,
I mean, I didn't play the game. Like,
no, I didn't play the game either, but I'm saying we both came to the conclusion that it was Dina that did it.
Yeah. That's just a basic logic. Do I really think Ellie died right there? No, I don't. So it's just like, who else could possibly save her to meet Dina?
So
it's
that line
very simple.
That line of thinking to me adds no excitement for knowing that in season 3 we gotta do it all over again.
Yeah, I mean,
so I
just feel like if they would have extended it for 5 more minutes, did you not think Dina, like normally when we watch stuff, we have like just assumptions on what's gonna happen next. Like if they would have showed the next 5 seconds and we saw Dina walk out, would you have been hyped or not?
Well, I wouldn't have been surprised. Well, I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like, what the reason why I'm saying that is because instead of getting whatever is next, we have to restart. And I feel like we beaten this point into the bush that we disagree on it, but like the solution, or we disagree on the solution. Nah, it's not even that we disagree on the solution. It's that I understand why they did it. You like that they did it. And
sure. I find it at least it's different.
It would, if they would have did it the way I'm saying it, you would have been less interested in potentially watching another season of The Last of Us.
Yes, but I would anticipate the next season is where they packed all the good stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you done gave me a storytelling arc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, all right, now I know all the characters, now I know all their motivations, and now we're gonna get the ultimate like clash in the final season. You know how they always do the seasons.
This is it.
Like, this is the final. Yeah, this is it. It all comes down. So, but that's more normal, generic.
Yeah,
like
you like the nuance of doing it a different way,
because
it's different than the game as well.
It's different than the game, and then also like what you said. We both sat there like, yo, where is this character?
Yeah.
Where is the main character we're looking for? Like, we need to know what she's doing. And then we're finding all the friends and we're like, what the heck? Like, are y'all not friends no more? Like, what's going on? And
yeah,
for at least that last episode, especially, it's kind of like, dang, she got the drop on you again. And like I said, it just feels like the good guys win in this story. So in my brain, Dina does save them. But hey, if it's not Dina, I would be floored. I'd be like absolutely floored, because in my brain, like, I just can't imagine any other scenario, like, unless I miss something, you know. But maybe we'll get something in season 3 where there's another character that has been following Abby, trying to stop Abby. But we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That is the main thing. We don't know. And that's what pisses me off. Like, nah. But I think, yeah. I think that's I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Like, I get it, but I don't like it.
So here's the real question. Would you play the game right now?
I don't want to play it anymore now. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm probably going to play the first one, but like, I don't want to know, because why am I watch the show if I know? You know, like,
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna play the game. I gotta know now. I don't think I can
Yeah.
wait 2 to 3 years.
But that's the thing.
It's a little too long.
That's the thing, Chris. Like, that's where you and I differ
Mm,
in our like triggers,
mm.
essentially. Like, where like we'll see something cool, we'll both see something cool, and it'll make you want to go and find the exact answer at this moment, finish the manga, catch up, and
Yeah.
then get ready for the next season. For me, I just want to ruminate on it, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and think of all the different scenarios of what could be. And then once I see what it is, be able to just do a full like comparison of, not comparison, but just like
Yeah, but
playthrough or
we know
whatever.
they wouldn't have completed the story. Clearly.
What do you mean?
Like, they had season 3 in mind, so they
Oh
weren't gonna
yeah,
complete. So if they did kinda like what you wanted them to do,
I think it
would
would
you
have been
have played
structured.
halfway through the story? Like, would you have stopped as soon as
I
stuff
would have
started
played.
happening?
I would have played the whole thing. I gotta finish it. I gotta finish it.
I'm so confused.
Like, at the point, because it
I'm
feels
so
like it's
confused.
over. Is my point. Like, it feels
Yeah.
like the story is over, right?
Yeah.
Unless some extra unforetold thing happens, but like the story feel like it's done, and that could possibly be part of the issue why people wasn't rocking with the game, because it's like barely anything happened. You got this, like, because that's like part of my issue with um kind of like the structuring of the show, is because like you have these like larger than life characters that we get introduced to, some that are like going to play more active roles, some that are more like, I don't want to say metaphorical, but like more of a group type situation. And then we still have the cordyceps that are
Yeah.
just like, where are they at? We ain't seen them
Yeah, but I
since,
think that's
like,
more of why people don't like the second game. It's kinda like you take a lot of the real survival grittiness from the first
yeah.
away.
It's like they had a good idea and they did it. And it's like, oh, well, how do we end it though?
Yeah, it just feels more of like, "Hey, we want another one." And then it's like, "Okay, well, now we have to come up with a new story." And then it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, what if we kill Joel?" And then it's like, "Okay, where do we go from here?" And
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to make something from, you know, some place that you weren't really trying to go to. Like, we weren't
Yeah.
trying to expand on this. And then when you throw in another character like Abby,
Yeah.
you're trying to make that character really interesting too, and it's hard to make that magic twice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like you said, the cordyceps are just not even a part of this season at all that really matter. Like, they are
Yeah.
there, but every
Yeah.
time they appeared, in my opinion, I was kind of like, bruh,
Mm-hmm.
like, are we serious right now? So it's kind of like a lot of that magic is gone already from the season, and
Yeah.
uh, I think that's more of why people hate the second game. But I gotta play it. I really want to play it. I'm just not paying $70 right now when it's a
Mm-hmm.
older game. I'll wait for it to be half off.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think we hit like an impasse, and we didn't even really talk about even what happened though.
Episode 6, 10 out of 10. Best, one of the best things I ever saw on TV. Uh, amazing writing,
That's crazy.
amazing emotions. Episode 7, bruh, that's a tough finale, and I hated Ellie being in the shadows, about to shoot the people
Mm-hmm.
for no reason. Just like, yo, I'm gonna shoot these people. Like, she don't be thinking straight in the series, bro. I'm like,
Bruh, Ellie is evil, bro.
uh, I uh, I mean, I
Evil's too
think
strong of a
she made
word.
it.
Evil's
Yeah,
too strong of a word. Ellie is Joel. Ends
there's
justify
hatred
the
in this
means.
universe.
And even though, like, in the perfect scenario, I don't think she wanted to kill either one of them. But it's the second one where it's like, why didn't this lady tell Ellie that she was pregnant? And now you want her to cut the baby out you, bro. She ain't
That
never
was
did that
crazy.
before. I ain't want to see that either, but like, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was some
So
emotion, bro. I was like, dang,
And she's like,
She
"You're
in the
doing a good
crazy
job. You're doing a good
scenario.
job," and just fading. She just fading,
Yeah,
bro. Like that was nuts. So
that
like,
was a nutty moment. I was like, bruh,
yeah,
I don't know what you're doing. Then she didn't do nothing. I was like, yo, she. I literally said that. I was like, she has no idea what she's gonna do.
yeah.
Like this is about to be gruesome. And then she just said nah, and I was like, yo, that's wild.
Because what's she gonna do with the baby after?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
I was in there yelling at the screen like, yo, get the baby out. But then
Yeah.
it was like, what do you do?
I was in
Do you
shock,
want to bring
bro.
a baby in this world? It's a horrible world that they live in. Like, it's so many questions, like morally, on what to do.
Right. And I feel like that is the thing that we're not that we're missing, but like I feel like, because like, what do you think The Last of Us is really about, bro? Like
I mean, I think that
outside of the
that
story,
idea right there,
yeah.
if
Like,
you're cutting open a baby, do you really want to continue the cycle of hatred of I killed your mother and I then raised you into
mm-hmm.
this horrible world, probably lied to you, didn't tell you that I killed your mother,
Yeah,
uh, just for you to find out the way she found out Joel lied to her to save her from the real truth that,
mm-hmm.
there was a cure. Like it's just the show has a lot of little parallels of just morality on like what is the right choice of
Yeah,
are you doing this out of act of love? Are you doing this out of a way for survival?
yeah.
Um
And it keeps you asking yourself, what would you do in that situation?
exactly.
So it's like,
Because Joel made it clear, like if
yeah,
you ever had a love like a little one like me, I
yeah. You just don't get it.
like you just don't get it, and I just
Yeah,
hope you're just like a little bit better than me. And his dad literally said like, yo,
yeah.
my father beat the crap out of me. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom thought I died and
Yeah.
I hit y'all,
Yep.
and I don't even hit y'all the way my dad hit you. I hope that one day you're just like a little better than me, showing like, yo, he his dad know he bad,
Mm-hmm.
he a hole, all that stuff, but he's just saying like, I
Yeah.
I don't know what you would have done in that scenario. All I know is I tried to be a little better. I tried to be a little
Mm-hmm.
better than what I experienced, and like Ellie in that moment, for me, I just sat there and thought, dang, she really said like this world is horrible.
Yeah.
Like I'ma choose you
Not to
dying with your
choose.
mom. Yeah.
I'm not finna choose for you.
Yeah. And
Like, and that's a choice.
yep. And kind of like when she tried to forgive Joel, because I think the word she used was I I wanna
I wanted,
try to forgive you.
yeah, I want to do
Something like
my
that.
best to forgive you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And
Like I'll never be able to forget what you did, but I'm gonna try my best to forgive you type situation.
yeah.
So it's like, because like I feel like that is why people love The Last of Us, is those moments. But
Yeah.
like when you're making the show, it's different than when you're playing in a game.
Yeah.
Like you're watching a show, but you're experiencing a game. So like the things that you feel are hitting different because it's you actively doing it versus like you're in control of the character. If you don't do this, then you don't win, or you lose, or you die. Like, so that those types of parallels like might end up getting lost in translation of like, how do we make a good concise show? And I feel
Sure.
like that's where, like,
They lost you.
not even me, I think that's where they lost you. Like, because, and that's where you say it dragged. I feel like those moments are important to really understand the characters and their motivations and what they're doing, because it's like, yes, uh um Jesse and Tommy came back for Ellie, right?
Yeah.
But like, we didn't see them make that decision as a group. You
Yeah.
know, we have to rely on the conversations that the characters are having to get that justification. So it's like the story isn't active in showing you a lot of these things, but like, because of the overall scenario, it's supposed to inform you, you know? And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm informed enough
Yeah, but all I'm
to
saying
where
is
I don't
I
have to
don't
go
want to
back.
be yeah, I just don't want to be so informed that we get Ellie's side of information and then Abby's side. That's all. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't like that version. Because at least in the video game, I know a large portion of this first part of the game might not be like the banger episode, like
Yeah,
missions I'm looking for. But there might
yeah.
be one or two that I'm like, yo, I'm hyped and I'm gonna stop, put it down, I'll come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So for a series, like I might have enjoyed it if they do have a really banger Abby episode. But what I got from Ellie's side, that middle section of the season really dragged for me, where it was story building these characters, and I'm just projecting they would have done the same side on Abby. I have to wait till season 3.
Yeah, because like we
But
don't.
hopefully they have better ones.
Yeah, because that's my whole point is that we don't know what Abby's side is going to look like. So
Yeah.
if it's something where it's like if they had added Abby's side into it and we don't have to skip 3 months for Ellie to heal, or like we don't have to wait a certain amount of time between like getting the understanding of the wolves, and we get to see that happen, like them training and stuff while Dina and Ellie are on the road, like
Yeah.
and still get to have those like mini conversations in the random library or the theater.
Yep.
And we get to see all the old time stuff, and we get to see Ellie play her guitar a couple times. Like I gotta see in the game if it comes off better than in the show. And that's kind of like where I'm at with it. I'm just not as hyped now for season 3 because it feels like it's over already.
I get you.
And yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at with it. It's like, and I guess we can get into the scores now, because like it affected my score of like, how can I really judge something if I got half of the book or half of the story?
Mm-hmm.
So like we could jump straight into that if you want.
Yeah, give me your score, bro.
I gave it a 7, bro.
Dang. Okay.
I gave it a 7. That joint was mid to me. Like it had its high moments and it had its low moments, but it was more like we're just coasting. I found myself playing Marvel Snap while I was watching it, bro, because I'm just like, well, still waiting to see where Abby's at. Oh, still no Abby. Boom, pop out Abby. I'm out of her. So that's just
dang, that's an analysis. That was
like I'm just
yeah. That's
like,
crazy.
That's literally what popped in my mind. But it's the opposite.
That's an interesting jump.
That's
like
the opposite.
Oh, that's Madara.
That's the opposite reaction though, because when people finally get to see Madara, it's hype because he's like doing all this crazy stuff to the ninja army, and he's got built up to be this like mega ninja and stuff like that. And it's like, boom, we finally get to see him and got to do his thing. But it's like, oh no, this story is over. It doesn't get no deeper than this. Start day 1, dang. We got to go back. It's like even characters
that
like
is
Manny.
Interesting.
Even characters like Manny, bro. We saw Manny when we got to Seattle. That's it. And at the end, that was only like he was busy filming Captain America, bro. He couldn't make the set, So there's still so much more I want to know, but it's like how are y'all finna do it? Because I think the thing that's bothering me the most out of just the story in general is just how the overarching things that's happening around the main characters is being shown, like the like it's Scars versus really the Wolves know. And then the Cordyceps. Like, bro, they made such a big deal out of the Cordyceps sneaking their way into the pipes
Yeah,
in the first
they
two
did.
episodes, and it's like, oh, we left. We don't know what's going on in Jackson anymore. They'll figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's not a big deal that they was in the pipes and we beat them. You know,
Yep.
like, we got to rebuild. There's no choice. You know, so it's making me want to watch The Walking Dead again, like because I got to
Funny.
see. Because I stopped right when it supposedly got good and then died off again.
I think I stopped season 3.
I stopped right when we got to the dude with the bat. Cause I was like, what the heck, bro? I can't keep watching this. It was mindless at this
Hey,
point.
maybe you're farther than me, huh?
Yeah,
Gotta think
I
about it.
got pretty far into that joint. But, you know, because it's like, how do you keep reinventing
Yeah.
the season if it's like a game?
Hmm.
You know? So the story's not called Ellie and Joel. It's not called Ellie and Dina. It's not called Ellie and Abby. It's called The Last of Us.
True.
And it's like, I feel like with these series like that, they're just trying to make a point. And once they made that point, like, then it's like, all right, what do we got left? And I feel like they've been made that point.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we ain't seen no.
Well, now we're gonna see The Last of Us for the Seattle people. You know,
Yeah.
the ones that were affected by Joel's
Look at that, the Seattle people,
rampage.
bro.
Yeah.
That's how we describing them.
Yeah. Them Seahawks fans.
12th man, right?
True. True.
They ain't show no Seahawks stuff in
That
there.
was the stadium though. 100%.
I seen it though.
It's too iconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But damn.
I
I'm
gave it
gonna
7.
give.
But what do you got it, bro? What are you looking at? What's kind of score?
I before I give my score, I do
Uh-oh.
think if you're gonna do 7 episodes, because a lot of shows are starting to do this, be sneaky with it. Please do not make this next season come out more than 2 years. Like that's just unfair.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you're gonna cut a season short, the turnaround season's got to come back faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because what the heck were y'all doing? Like
the only thing that that's worse that they could have done, which is be like, yeah, this is the final season, and then it's like part 2. They added that part 2 on it, I've been pissed.
Dang.
And they're like, bruh, because we said this like in the last episode. It's like, oh yeah, so you think it's gonna be a part 2, or like, not the last.
Yeah, we
episode,
both definitely thought they would reach more episodes.
Yeah,
7 was shocking.
right.
But I would give this a 5.
So it's even worse than mine. You made it seem like you was about to give it a great score.
No, definitely not. I really like episode 6. I think that's such a good episode. Of course, it's the one with Joel, so it just makes me look crazy. But it's just so much emotion there. We finally get the conversation that led to the outburst from episode 1 with Joel and Ellie, and especially the fact that they finally air out the laundry that Joel lied to her. Yeah. And we get to see her reaction, her emotions. And we kind of get that feeling of at least they did talk before Joel did die. Because that was like a looming thing on episode 2 that, dang, you just treating him like a piece of trash. And then this dude just died. You didn't get to say nothing. Like, yo, I hate you, Ellie. But I really love that episode. Even having another person just in it that gets bit by cordyceps and showing Joel just bold-faced lie to try to save someone somehow. And like make the choice for someone else, you know?
Yeah.
And then episode 2, amazing episode, Joel dying.
Every episode with Joel in it. That's what you like.
Every episode with Joel, unfortunately.
You're sick, Chris. You're sick.
The attack on Jackson was
my gosh,
really cool. I mean, I kind of felt like we were in Game of Thrones for a little bit.
Like, yeah. The wall.
And just how all that started with Abby being dumb. That made me hate her more. And then she lucked up into Joel. Like everything I was like, yo, this is wild. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So both those episodes, I just feel like are just jaw dropping, amazing. A lot of the other stuff, I don't know if it's Ellie. I don't know if it's the writing.
Yeah.
I just don't think they were on their P's and Q's with what we're doing each episode. It just felt like just too much slogging through this What am I doing now? Am I on this revenge tour? Am I not? Should I turn back? Should I not? Um, and then ultimately at the end, that last episode, the last few minutes, I really like, but there was a lot of predictiveness, like who's gonna get shot in the
Ellie
head.
should
I
have
was like,
drowned, bro.
oh yeah. Even I think I ran on it a little bit. I hated that whole thing.
Why even go there?
She
Why go to this island, bro? We didn't need
Yeah,
that.
she tried to shoot those people, no reason. She went to that island in the middle of the storm, so stupid. She got captured on the island. She survives. She just gets back in the boat, sails back to the place. I was like, "Yo, please stop this. Just stop. Just cut this whole section out."
Yeah.
But it also alludes to what you're saying, G. Like, we're gonna get more to the storyline. We're gonna know that Ellie was on that island at the same time when something's going down that we don't know about. But I just hated that whole thing. I just hated it. It just felt 100% out of place. And if I went back in my memory and went back to these other episodes, there's more and more stuff where I'm just sitting there watching, thinking, this is out of place, or cut this, or, throw in an Abby episode, like you're saying. So overall, I definitely think this is way worse than season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the tone is not right. I think they need to make Ellie way more like vengeful. And
She
her tone just
flip-flopping.
kind of seems flip-floppy.
Yeah.
And it just makes it more unbelievable. And she did show a lot of range in this episode or season of her having them crazy, like, I'm mad at you eyes.
Yeah.
And I just needed it more.
Rage.
So
actor's
shout out
still
to
good
Dina,
though.
though.
Actor's still good. Yo, Dina is mega short, bro.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Like when she opened that door, I was like, man, that's a short lady, bro.
Yo, I was like, yo, what if she couldn't open the door? Like, what if she passed out, y'all? Like,
yeah, but the dude,
is anyone
dude
thinking
tall.
about this?
Dude is tall though.
Yeah.
It looked strange when I saw it. I was like, yo, that's a crazy close up right there. What?
Yeah. So season 3, Last of Us, please.
We still say it's mid.
Series.
So you got a 5, I got a 7. 7 is mid on my list, on my tier list.
And you said something. Those first 5 episodes, I swear my phone was in my hand, and I haven't done that in a while. I haven't watched a show where I was like really like, let me go on Zillow real quick. Let me see what some $1 million houses look like.
That baseball game got me, bro. That baseball game when Tommy was talking to her, I was like, bro, we didn't need this conversation. But like, I still think the Joel episode, like when she told him, or when he told her, and then Ellie was just like, oh my gosh, you did it again. Like you just keep lying. And
you're a liar.
You're just a liar, bro. And I was like, yo, you blowing the spot up. Like you could have just waited and got that off. But it's like, because it's like, who are we to be the ones to just be like, yo, this is how they would want to hear it. This is what they would want to know. You know? You're thinking of yourself. You want to be the hero. Like we don't get into that of like just how like everybody knows Joel crazy. But like they also know like, hey, if we need somebody to get something done, Joel got our back, you know? So it's like, because they never even got into as well, like how like as much as Ellie like was mad at Joel and stuff like that, she just wanted to do the same thing though.
Exactly.
Like, she wanted to be as free as Joel. And like even the like just the parallels of them adding the pregnant lady who was like the nurse, and then Dina being pregnant but being so early, and and Jesse coming back to save Jesse and Tommy coming back to save Ellie when they could have just went home so that he can get home to his baby and grow up with. We called it too. I was like, bro, he ain't gonna make it.
Exactly.
We called it in the previous time we talked about The Last of Us. So it's like, bro, some of this stuff might just need to stay video games, bro.
Yeah, I kind of have that feeling after watching it. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This season definitely didn't translate well, and it could be like
Yeah.
what you're saying. Just throw both of them in. You could do it together.
Question:
Mhm.
Do you think it's a genre thing?
Maybe, maybe
Like,
because that whole exploration
yep.
and it's kind of lost in the season too. Like
Mm-hmm.
when Ellie and Joel were stumbling upon like a new settlement, or they
Yeah.
got to do this. It felt more natural. Like we got to get to this location. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole like list of adventures that could be potentially possible on the road to
Yeah.
here. And then
Mm-hmm.
this one, it just kind of felt like, what is the actual destination? It's just to this person.
Yeah.
It's all they're supposed to be here, and then it's like the in between moments. I was like, this is much weaker. We don't get these crazy people randomly that they're showing
Mm-hmm.
up, and so maybe that could have been it. That's what the season needed.
Because I think it has something to do with genre of video games. So if it's like a action RPG versus it being like an adventure, style game, where you have like one that's like a linear storyline, and the other one is like, all right, now you gotta explore while you're doing it. It might justify what becomes a movie or what becomes a show,
Yeah,
and what kind of show would make sense. Because every time you make something like this, it's um kind of like a reimagining of it, and it's like
yeah, because like
showing it
Fallout,
in a
like
different. That's exactly going to be my next thing. Like Fallout, to me, I was the most like not to say I didn't care about Fallout, but it was like I was watching mainly because I never played Fallout before, except
yeah,
for the one time I played it and I had a bad experience because the game didn't work.
76.
Yeah, the game didn't work, bro.
Shaking my head.
So like people have nostalgia for these types of games, but it's like because Fallout had more of a like overarching. It's not a direct story of a certain character. You just have
Yeah,
elements from all the games in it.
yeah.
It was probably received a lot better than The Last of Us season
It's like a direct.
part 2 that people already had a problem with the game that they can't necessarily fix
True.
with the show unless they switch it up, which is what they kind of doing. So like
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense too.
it might be for its good, you know what I'm saying, Chris? You might be onto something. But like, oh man, like
I don't know if it's good. I just like it that it's different. It's
mhm,
not. And like you said, I would have loved to play just finish it up. We can play the game now to really compare.
yeah,
But at least I kind of feel like, okay, that's different.
mhm,
Maybe Abby's side is gonna a lot better.
yeah,
Because all I know is a lot of people were really angry at the Last of Us Part 2,
mhm.
and
But it was angry for other reasons too, though.
yeah, and I
That
just kind of
wasn't
feel like it's
necessarily
more of Joel.
story. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
more Joel and like the whole guys being
now we're
guys,
following a
bro.
new character, and now
Why do I
I
care
don't.
about Abby? Why
Yeah,
is she
I didn't buy
jacked?
this.
So
Yeah,
many
yeah,
dumb
yeah,
questions, bro. Like, what are we
yeah,
doing? And it's like it was so bad. I'm like, I didn't play the first one, so I'm not gonna play this one either. Like, I'm
yeah, yeah.
cool. I'm gonna watch. They killed off Joel. I was like, all right, I'm good. They done ruined it. They done ruined it. But like,
Yeah,
it was more so the attachment to Joel than
yeah.
whatever else happened in the game. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let us know what y'all think about this. Do you have any extra questions, rapid fire, before we get up out of here about it, or no?
Oh, ETA on the next season. How long?
2 years, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 years.
2 years.
That's
Like
tough. That's
because they
tough.
didn't already announce that they're already doing it. I think it's 2 years.
And I don't know the viewership watch, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it dropped off. I'm sure
Man,
because I
it
stopped
seemed like
seeing
everything I was
emotion on
seeing
it.
was like, oh man, I loved it. I loved this. I loved it.
Oh, that's good.
Like as far as like reactions to specific things. But then when I look at people's scores, they're more close to like ours. Where it's like,
Yeah, I didn't get the feeling of like, yo, that was really good. Like I'm
yeah,
running to tell anybody go watch it.
like,
I'm just like, ugh.
like I had the same reaction to Invincible that I had to this,
Oof.
where it's like, dang, I want to like this a lot more,
But the
but
previous seasons were way up
yeah,
there.
like, and it's like mainly because they stopped in the middle. Like, all right, guys, wait a little bit, part two. But then it's like, well, I can't judge it then. I can't score
Yeah.
it because it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's a much different one to like judge because you're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like I hate to do it, bro, because like I think the performances was actually good, but it's like, dang, y'all just stuck in the wrong game, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's that on that, man. What you geeked about, bro?
Ooh, pretty tough. I just got back from some vacation, so I was
Mm-hmm.
on the
Mm-hmm.
beach reading books, walking the dog. Fun time. But and I've been pretty focused on the Eastern Western Conference Finals. Very very shocking to me.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm
Home
not
team
wearing
can't
that
win.
Wolves hoodie right now.
Home team can't win for some reason.
But man, what I'm geeked about. Have I even watched a TV show recently? No, I did start You.
Mm-hmm.
That was strange. I haven't finished it.
That is the show.
Um,
It's just
yeah.
strange, bro.
I,
Oh, you started for
I
the first time, or
no,
you've
no,
been
no. I'm
watching
on
it?
the last
Okay,
season.
okay, yeah.
I did not expect it to
I
be
saw the
where.
trailer and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, man. I really haven't been on like the movie or TV show kick right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to anime, it's just Fire Force for now.
Mm-hmm.
And
How you
apparently,
feel
I
about
have to
that
get on
recent
that.
episode of Fire Force, bro?
I'm not caught up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not caught up. But uh that is like my go-to anime over My Hero. Because I
Yeah.
was trying to do both. And I I'm rocking with Fire Force a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Um
That
and
tracks.
I'm gonna try to catch up to One Piece because someone's blowing up the group chat that is
Can't
it's
help it, bro.
peak.
Can't
It's
help it.
peak.
I can't help it, bro.
Yeah. But what you geeked about, G?
First things first. I'd probably say, hmm, I have to say One Piece. I don't want to keep saying it, but I have to say it.
Yeah.
Uh,
See?
just cause it's like, bro, the plot just keeps thickening, bro.
Dang. Oh, so it is true.
Like, I thought what I was
Dang.
watching was peak, but it's like, yo, the world just got more crazy.
Dang.
So I just been watching that. Um, we finished off The Last of Us. I've been
Yup,
watching.
yup.
I didn't watch Windbreakers this week, but I gotta watch that again. Um, Fire Force going crazy, and I said I was gonna start JJK, but I didn't start it yet. Um, I said I was gonna watch Rogue One, didn't do that either. I should have watched
I
it.
did. I
You
fell
did?
asleep though.
No, so you didn't watch it. It watched you.
No, I watched like an hour and then it watched me. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Um, and then like I'm just really excited for football. Like they just dropped the cover for NCAA football 26.
Oh, bro.
Got my boy Big Foe on it. Big Foe. Jeremiah Smith. You know?
That's nice.
And then what else, bro? That's really it, bro. Oh, other than that, I'm excited for these clips to come out because I just finally got a system for like how I can do this, and also like just my overall workflow of stuff. Cause like I get to the point where I get so ahead that I get behind. It don't make sense, bro. Like I should have been dropped my Sinners review, bro. I'm just now
Dang
writing it.
it.
What have I been doing?
That's some good
Watching
stuff.
One Piece, bro. What I've been doing. So got a lot of stuff in the works, but excited for what's to come. But other than that, bro, that's pretty much it, man. Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, already?
No.
Y'all see that fan base already? They
Whoa.
call it Super Bowl. Oh.
Whoa. I didn't say what
Hey,
year. I
oh,
didn't say what
okay.
year.
Yo, he
Well,
defended it. You see that guard is crazy.
That's good defense. That's Hall of Fame defense right there.
Yep.
Well, I just like what our coach is saying, bro. You know, like he's saying all the right things, and it seemed like it's working. Only thing I'm nervous about is Diggs, bro. I seen him race Micah. He got dusted. He say he slipped, but he got dusted. So Micah beating you in the race. Then he might not come back till middle of the season, if that.
Micah fast. Wasn't he all-time fastest linebacker? Maybe not the fastest, but
I'm not sure.
It was
really
like
fast,
it was
though.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy speed.
Yeah.
So
like the way he moved is like I gotta get out the way, bro. Like I don't know. I ain't gonna get into it, but that's pretty much it, man. I have not really been I've been watching the games, but just it's a new champion, so I'm just kind of waiting to see how it play out, bro. I think it's dope that SGA won MVP and he got a Michael Jordan trophy. Doesn't really remind me of Michael Jordan, but it's a trophy nonetheless. And I don't know who to pick, and it's making me mad. Because none of my team, so it's like I have no dog in the fight, you know?
Yeah. I don't even have a player that I'm like,
yeah,
yo, I rock with that player a lot. It's like, dang.
Because as much as I wanted to just be like, yeah, Ant's the legend killer. But it's like, he not though. Not yet.
I'm rooting for Ant, but even if not, my second one would be Carl Anthony Towns, and it's just like, yo, both of them is failing me right now like this.
Gosh.
It's like,
wow.
That's hilarious. I can't wait to at the end of this look up what happened tonight. I need to know.
That's nuts, bro. But appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what y'all thought of the episode in the comment section below. And we'll see y'all next week. Stay geeked. Peace.
Later, y'all.
Hey, I was waiting for it.